Most freight forwarding companies are one person away from complete disaster, and the owner doesn't even realize it. And I know this because I've been in freight forwarding for over 15 years, and I've worked with a lot of freight forwarding companies and our own freight forwarder. And I've seen owners who build successful companies but created a golden prison for themselves. They can't take a vacation, they can't step away from operations, and if the key person quits, the entire business could collapse. I've seen 10 medium freight forwarding companies nearly shut down when an operations manager left. And I watched brilliant forwarders burn out because they never learned to build systems that work without them. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact team building framework that transforms freight forwarding companies from owner-dependent operations into self-running machines, and how to build a team so good and that your business grows even when you're not there. Point number one, the owner dependency trap, and the reason why most forwarders can't scale. The biggest mistake that freight forwarding owners make is becoming the irreplaceable center of their business instead of building systems that create irreplaceable value. When you're the only person who can handle customer issues, make pricing decisions, or manage carrier relationships, you have built a job, not a business. Your company's growth is limited, which is constrained by your personal capacity, and you're always one emergency away from chaos. Sound familiar? So I remember this freight forwarder, like back in the day, he was super proud of his hands-on approach and the personal relationships with every customer, and all good up until that. But he hadn't taken a real vacation in like 10 years, worked 70-hour weeks, and his wife was threatened with divorce. When his top operation manager quit to start their own company, he nearly had a nervous breakdown. He spent 18 months rebuilding the company with proper systems and team structure. Now, he's working way less hours, obviously. He's taking vacations, and his company is actually growing, but without him being involved in the day-to-day operations. Here's what owner dependency looks like in freight forwarding, and then you'll see if you're one or not. But the owner dependency checklist, this is it. You personally approve every quote over, say, $5,000. The customers have your cell phone, and they directly call you to ask for updates. You're the only one who can negotiate with carriers, or at least one of the few, and your operation teams have to ask every decision they make. You check emails and take calls even on vacations. And key processes only exist in your head. And lastly, you're involved in every single customer problem resolution. Are you that kind of business owner? Something to think about. Now, how to go from that into a real business owner. Your team has clear authority on the levels of decision making. Your customers get updates through automated systems or emails from your team. Your operations manager handles the carrier negotiations. Your team makes decisions using SOPs or documented procedures, and you can disconnect completely during your time off. All processes are documented and trainable, and your team resolves 90% of the issues without your involvement. Now, picture this. Imagine your freight forwarding company as a machine. In a owner-dependent business, you're the engine. If it stops, everything stops. In a properly built business, you're the architect who designed the machine that runs smoothly whether you're dead or not. Which business would you rather own? Point number two, the three-layer team structure. Look, successful freight forwarding companies have three distinct layers: the strategic leadership, the operational management, and the execution specialist. Most companies try to skip the middle layer and wonder why they can't scale. Why is this important? Because without proper hierarchy, you end up in either chaos or bottlenecks, because everything has to run through you. This three-layer structure creates clear accountability while allowing for growth and specialization. Example, here's an optimal freight forwarding team structure that you can see if you have it or not. Layer number one, strategic leadership, which in this case, the CEO, the owner, which has the vision, the strategy, and major client relationships, and is on growth planning mode. The COO, which is optional depending on the size of your business, but it oversees overall operations and process improvement. The layer number two, the operational management, 2 to 4 people at least. You have the operations manager, which has the carrier relationships and the problem resolutions. And then you have the sales manager, which is in charge of the lead generation, the client acquisition, and the account management. You can also have a customer service manager who's in charge with the client communication, the documentations, and the compliance. And lastly, you have the financial manager for obviously larger companies, pricing, invoicing, financial reporting, and so on and so forth. Layer number 3, the execution specialist. And then from here, this is where your big team comes to play. 5 to 20 people. You have the operation coordinators, which are in charge of shipment tracking, documentation, and carrier communication. You also have the customer service representative, which are in charge of client updates, inquiry handling, and basic problem solving. Then you have your sales reps, lead qualification, proposal preparation, and account maintenance. Then you have documentation specialists that handles customs paperwork, the compliance filing, and the record keeping. Each one of the managers oversees 3 to 7 direct reports. More than 7 creates chaos, and fewer than 3 creates unnecessary layers. Imagine this. Think of your team structure like a military organization. Generals don't manage individual soldiers. They walk through colonels and captains who manage the day-to-day operations. This creates a clear command structure while allowing leaders to focus on strategy instead of tactics. Point number 3, the documentation revolution. The difference between a scalable freight forwarding company and a chaotic one, it's documentation. Believe it or not, every critical process must be written down, standardized, and be trainable. Why? When processes exist only in people's head, you're vulnerable to knowledge loss, to inconsistent service, and to training nightmares. Documented systems create consistency, enable delegation, and make your company transferable and valuable. Here are the critical systems that every freight forwarding company needs to have documented. The customer onboarding system, where you have new client information gathering checklist, the credit application and approval processes, the system setup procedures, the welcome packet and communication templates, then quote and pricing systems. You there have the rate calculation procedures for different services, the approval levels for different quote amounts, the quote templates for presentations and standards, and the follow-up procedures and timelines. Then you have shipment management system, where you have booking procedures for different carriers, documentation requirements checklists, tracking and communication protocols, problem escalation procedures. Then you have the customer service system, where you have standard response templates for common inquiries, the issue resolution procedure, escalation protocols, and the customer communication standards. Next, the carrier management system, where you have carrier evaluation and selection criteria, rate negotiation procedures, performance monitoring systems, and relationship management protocols. Then, the documentation framework, where you have the visual flow chart of the entire process, the step-by-step procedure where you have detailed instructions for each step, templates and checklists where you have standardized forms and verification lists, and the troubleshooting guide, where you have common problems and solutions. The training materials on how to teach these processes to new team members. I know it was a lot, but picture this. Imagine your freight forwarding company as a franchise, like McDonald's, for example. Every McDonald's produces consistent results because of every process is documented, standardized, and trainable. Company should work the same way. Anyone should be able to follow your systems and deliver consistent results. Point 4. The hiring and training systems. How to build a freight forwarding dream team. Most freight forwarding companies hire based on expertise and train through osmosis. The best companies hire for aptitude and attitude and then train systematically using documented processes. Why is this important? Experience in freight forwarding, it can be taught, but work ethic, problem-solving ability, and customer service mindset cannot. When you hire the right people and train them properly, you build a team that is loyal, capable, and aligned with your company culture. Here's a systematic hiring and training approach. Step 1, define the role, clear specific responsibility and expectations, required skills versus preferred experience, success metrics and performance standards, growth opportunities, and career path. Step number 2, hire for an attitude and aptitude. Hire for problem-solving ability, you give them scenarios and then you work through it. Communication skills, both written and verbal. Customer service mindset, how do they handle difficult situations? Learning ability, can they master new systems quickly? And cultural fit, do they align with my company and my values? Step number 3, structured interview process, phone screening for the basic qualifications, skill assessment on Excel, communication, problem solving, and then a cultural fit interview with team members, and then the final interview with the decision maker. So follow this training system. On week 1, company and industry foundation, you tell them your company stories, the values, and the culture. Then the freight forwarding industry as an overview, then key terminology and concepts, and lastly, introduction to the team members and their roles. Week number 2, systems and processes, software training, the TMS, the email, the communications, and all that, the communication review, and also the processes. You walk through with them. Then shadow experience with team members. And then you ask them to handle simple task supervision. And then weeks 3 to 4, it's a practice that's supervised. You have them handle real shipping situations and you oversight how they do it. You practice customer communication, and then you have them learn carrier relationships and procedures, how to master that and how to handle that. Then you begin taking on more complex tasks. Weeks 5 to 8, independent work with check-ins. They already manage the systems independently. They have regular feedback sessions and course correction. They gradually increase responsibility and complexity of the tasks, and you have a performance evaluation and goal setting. Think of your hiring and training system like a military boot camp. You're not just teaching people how to do tasks, how to handle shipment. You're instilling a culture, building capabilities, and creating team members who can perform under pressure and support each other. And then lastly, point number 5, the key performance management system. The best freight forwarders teams aren't managed through micromanagement. They are guided through clear expectations, regular feedback, and aligned incentives. When a team member understands exactly what is expected of them and how their performance is measured, they can manage themselves. This frees up management time while ensuring consistent results and continuous improvement. Here's the complete performance management framework that you can follow in your company. So for your operations coordinator, the metrics could be on-time shipment rate, documentation accuracy, customer response time, carrier communication, and problem resolution. For your customer service representative, you can measure them on the email response time, by the customer satisfaction score, issue escalation rate, by upselling success, and by documentation accuracy. For your sales rep, you can measure by new prospects contact within the month, qualified leads generating within the month, their proposal conversion rate, which has to be around 25%, the revenue target, if they hit the target, and the customer retention rate. Now, this is the weekly check-in system for you. On Monday, you have the week planning and goal setting. On Wednesday, you have a midweek progress review. And on Friday, you have a week wrap-up and performance review. Now, the monthly performance review, metric review and analysis, goal achievement assessment, feedback and coaching, next month's objectives, and professional development planning. Now, the incentive alignment. You have to look at the base salary, it has to be competitive, performance bonuses tied to specific metrics, team bonuses, like share rewards with the team for achieving X, Y, and Z, recognitions program, and career development. Picture this. Think of performance management like coaching in a sports team. Great coaches don't just tell players what to do. They set clear expectations, provide regular feedback, celebrate wins, and help the players improve the skill. Your team should feel both supported and challenged, but not micromanaged or criticized. Now, I know it's a lot of information, but here's the one you don't understand. Building a great freight forwarding team, it's not about finding the best or the perfect people. It's about creating the perfect systems that help good people do great work. This 5-part framework I just walk you guys through: eliminating owner dependency, building proper hierarchy, documenting systems, hiring and training systematically, and managing performance effectively. This is how you transform your freight forwarding business from a job that owns you into a system that serves you. But here's the reality and the most brutal truth. Most freight forwarder owners watch this video and get excited about all the possibilities and then go back to doing the same old thing because change feels overwhelming. And I get that. But the owners who actually implement these systems will build companies that run without them, that will grow faster than their competitors, and that create real wealth systems instead of just busy work. The difference between a 2 million freight forwarding company that owns the owner and a 10, 20 million company that serves the owner, it's not the size of the team, it's the systems in place. The companies with great systems scale effortlessly. And then the companies without the system hit a ceiling and stay there forever. Is that your case? It might be, who knows? But I want you to be clear about something. This is not a quick fix. Building great systems takes time, discipline, and commitment. You need to invest in documentation, in training, in process improvement. You need to let go, control, and trust your team to make decisions. You need to hold people accountable and make tough decisions when someone isn't performing. But here's what happens when you do this work. You get your life back. You build a valuable business instead of an expensive job. You create opportunities for your team members to grow and succeed. And you serve your customers better because you have systems instead of chaos. The freight forwarding companies that will dominate the next decade aren't the ones with the best owners. They're the ones with the best teams and the best systems. Question is, are you gonna build a company that depends on you? Or are you gonna build a company that works for you? If this will show you what's possible when you stop trying to do everything yourself and start building systems that scale, hit that subscribe button. I share tactical advice and business system strategies for freight forwarders every week. And remember, companies that master these fundamentals will be the ones that build lasting success. The choice is yours. Keep being the irreplaceable center of your business or become the visionary leader of a team that makes you irreplaceable to your market. Choose wisely. Your business, your family, and your future depend on it.